Okay, so some more coding with Java. We're going to go over a simple switch case statement, and we have our nice little template that we normally start with. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'll be building a simple calculator, very simple, again just to demonstrate the switch case statement. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to declare some variables, and then we'll write the calc. Okay, so I have I have x, y, z, and I don't need to initialize this, I don't think, so let me get rid of that. And I'm going to use a char. The OP is going to stand for operator, and the string, I'm going to string a message. So this will be, this should work nicely. I believe these are the only variables I'll need. And the next thing I'm going to do is enter the message to the user to enter the data. Alright, so we have a nice little message here on line 15 that says enter TW, yes, TW, 2 numbers and an operator. So these are our choices: plus, minus, multiply, divide, and then I give an example of how to enter it. 1 plus 2, and that's it. There should be a space here. And what we're going to do is we're going to assign the 3 entries to these variables. So x, y, and z. And then we'll end line. Alright, so the next thing I did was I went ahead and created the switch statement. So I do put a comment here. So I usually will do that to say what it is I'm looking for. So here I'm going to evaluate the chosen operator and then do the math. And so we're taking the OP, which is a char character, and it's going to be one of these, the plus, minus, so it's a single character, whichever one the user chose, assigned right here on line 16. And then we're going to pass it to the switch statement to evaluate what did the user enter. They entered one of these, a plus, a minus, a multiply, a divide. If they entered anything else, then the default is going to put error. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is enter create the rest of this. So really all that's missing now is the actual message. So I'll go ahead and just do that real quick. And right here I actually want to say, do I need this? Actually, I don't think I do. Let's kill this right here. And what we'll do is we will initialize the after all, so that way there's something there should it fail. Okay, so the switch statement evaluates operator. It's going to fall into one of these cases, and then the block of code between the colon here, and after each one of these evaluations you have to have a colon, so colon after each one of them. Then you can put a block of a statement, so a block of code can go right here. And after that you always have to include a break, except for the default. If it doesn't fall into one of these, it defaults to this case, and in my case it's just going to say error, and it will return the default 0. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here, I think this is pretty much done. So we'll go ahead and run this. And so far so good. So we're going to enter 3 and let's say multiply by 5 and enter. Oops, and nothing came out because I didn't tell it to put anything out there. I did forget to type the output message. Alright, let's fix that. So cout is going to equal z. That should be it. Let's do that. Oops. Okay, no, I've always forget my colons. Yes, I know. Alright, and now we should be good. Okay, let's try that again. The system will say 5 times 8. It's 40. And there we go. And we can clean it up a little bit. We should usually do this anyways. Do the end. Alright. And let's run that again. Okay, so this time we're going to say 50 divide by 2 and 25. There we go. So we made a very simple little calculator. Oh, let's do an error test and see what happens if that's the case. So let's say 5, and we don't do anything, and say 7. Oh, my error didn't work. Okay, but what we would need to do is something we haven't covered yet, and that's entering a try-catch statement. So for right now, that's just not working yet. Anyways, so that's the story. I think this is sufficient to demonstrate a switch case statement. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this little simple format. And it's really simple to use. What I will say about the switch statement is that you do have to enter an integer or an enumeration. You can't. It needs to evaluate. Usually we're going to evaluate some type of constant, an enumeration, an integer, a word, a choice of words. So you use switch statements when you're looking for, when there's a choice to be made. So something like this where we had a choice of operators and we can evaluate those. Let's say we were looking at choices of, let's say we had control and they could pick 4 or 5 different controls for some type of console app. Well, then those controls you would evaluate. Say, did they choose about control 1, 2, 3? They choose maybe months of the year. Did they choose January, February? Just whenever you have different options like that, that's when you want to use a case statement. You can see they're very clean. Looks really nice. I probably should format this a little bit better. But this is how your formatting should be with your spacing, and that's it. All right, thank you.